Hey, YBC students of this session. I hope you're staying healthy and safe as well as your families. So, based on your feedback that I received from you doing the questionnaire, and thank you for those that participated in it, we're going to be working on the car buying project. Many of you had questions on how to purchase a car, and we're going to go through that process. So, when you're the first part of the project is you looking at a article that discusses whether you should buy or lease a car, and for a lot of people that is the first decision they need to make when they're trying to buy or lease a car, get a new vehicle in the family. So it depends on where you are in your life, I would say, and what your personal preference is. I personally have bought cars, and one thing I would want to point out, just because you buy a car doesn't mean you can't sell it early or get rid of it when you want to. There's a lot of different situations that pop up. So, for example, when I graduated college and I was working during college, I bought myself a brand new car. It wasn't much, it was a small little sedan. It got the job done. When I got my first job as a teacher, I wanted a Jeep. That's all I wanted. So I had owned my car for about 2 years, and I was able to sell it to my father. He just took over the payments pretty much, and he gave me like a couple $1,000s towards the Jeep that I wanted. And that was the arrangement that we worked out. So I'm a proponent of buying a car, but that's because I've been in situations where I wanted to buy and not lease. I'll give you an example what makes sense to lease. So my cousin, he lived in New Jersey but works in where is he now? Minnesota. He leases a car out in Minnesota. He literally flies out to Minnesota every Monday just to go to his job. So he just leases a car out there rather than having a rental every week. He's going to be there for like 3 years, so he took out a 3-year lease on a car. So that's how he's able to get around there. And it makes sense, but his car in New Jersey is what his family uses and makes total sense. And a lot of people lease because they get a new car every 3 years. Usually after 3, 4, 5 years, cars, their parts start to go. You need to replace things, and people don't want to be hassled with it. Just understand, when you lease a car, you actually do not own the car. The bank does. And you're responsible for the terms and conditions that are in the lease. So, for example, if you want to take a road trip cross country every year, you probably shouldn't be leasing a car. You'll blow through your mileage pretty quickly just on those trips alone. So, but if you own a car, you don't have to worry about mileage. It's on you. It's your car, especially after you pay it off from the bank. So there's a lot of different circumstances and reasons why people either buy or why they lease a car. It's all up to you. There's no wrong answer. And that's something I want to keep emphasizing, especially when it comes to cars. And the kind of car that you want or need will change as you get older. So right now, when me and my wife first got married, we just had she had a little Honda Civic. Once we started having kids, we bought an SUV. All right, life changes, things evolve. Okay, the car that I've been wanting my entire life is a Jeep Wrangler. I'm not getting a Jeep Wrangler anytime soon. Why? Because it doesn't fit the needs of myself and my family. It's awful on gas, although it looks cool. And just picture me and this beautiful beard that I'm growing, driving down the Jersey Shore in a soft top Jeep. Oh, people will be loving it. But that's not for me right now. I'm happy with my little Chevy Equinox that does the job. Okay, fits the kids in there, put stuff in the trunk, and we're good to go. All right, one thing that you need to realize is that you have to have patience when you're trying to build up your personal wealth to be making good decisions, wise decisions. Again, but the first car I bought, it was less than $17,000. Why? Because that's what I could afford at the time. Not a big deal. And by the way, my brother now owns that car. It is about 13 years old now, and it runs great. It does a good job. My father drove for several years, and my brother took it over because he just wanted a car, and he bought it off my father. So it has had minor issues, very few at all. So when you're making these decisions, just understand that you do not need to have, it's not a long-term thing. All cars are short-term investments. The biggest advantage though, when you own a car, once you finish paying off, it is yours. You can do whatever you want. You can sell it, and all that goes to profit. Because if you don't have a car payment, say like $300 car payment a month, that's like $300 in your pocket every time. And one thing that gets overshadowed, a lot of times car insurances will go down with a new car, not necessarily up, because the newer cars have better safety features than older models. So car insurance may be a little bit of a wash. Sometimes they'll go up, sometimes they'll go down. It depends on the car, and that depends on your research. And being New York City residents, you must have car insurance. That's something that is mandated by the state. But if you live in Florida, for example, you don't need car insurance. Get the car insurance, please. It's worth it. All right, so when you're going through this process, please email me at lhessian@d79.com, and we'll help you out if you need any tips or advice. We're using readmantold.com for searching for cars. They have a huge inventory. They have good prices. My family's been going there for 30 years. Bob, good people. So when you're going through the template, go to the NerdWallet link that I provided to calculate the monthly payments. There you will figure out how much you can afford, or how much the car costs every month. So after you're finished finding 5 cars, the various budgets, then I want you to look at the reflection, like what kind of car do you want? What did you learn? What do you need more information on? So I ask you to review this video. If you're doing that now, good for you. Read the buying versus leasing, answer those couple questions, do some car research on the Readman Total website, and then I want you to do the reflection. And put in the class comments. Some of you are comfortable putting comments in there, some are not, based on another survey. So if you feel comfortable asking a broad question out to the world, awesome. If not, put it in the private comments. I'll see it during the class periods, and I'll get back to you. Again, I hope you're staying healthy and safe. I miss you all terribly, and let's get through this. We're marching towards graduation, and let's make these things happen. Okay? Be well, YABC students, and I'll talk to you soon.